But when's the last time you actually allowed yourself to dream? To just allow yourself to feel ridiculously stupid and dream about something that is you might feel like you can never accomplish. When's the last time you did that?
Agent Power Huddle is a daily jumpstart, giving you all the tools you need to create an amazing real estate career. Led by top experts in the field, you'll learn how to sell more houses in less time while creating the life you want. Welcome to the Agent Power Huddle.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Friday, everybody. Good to see you all. Can you believe it is November 10th? I think we have 7 Fridays left of 2023. It's like, whoa, where did that time go? Which makes today's topic all that more like timely, right? Did you see what today's topic is about? We're going to talk about your vision. And this really comes from on the 5th of December, I'm hosting a Kickstart 2024 12-week year planning session. I can talk a little bit more about that later, but in preparing for this, I'm really trying to build the momentum and let people know, like, look, we can write a plan all day, every day, but if you don't have a vision, if you don't have a dream, your plan is going to be useless. Let's just put that out there, right? Like, if you don't have a vision for where you're going, your plan is useless. Also, if you don't have a really clear vision, you know what's going to happen is you're going to start trying to go for accomplishing a goal, but you're going to lose motivation and you're going to get burnt out. And you're going to start wondering, you're going to start like trying to reach out to all these other external forces to try to drive home that motivation. And to be really honest with you guys, a vision, your motivation, it's not an external force. I can sit here all the day and be like, yeah. But really, like, that's just annoying if you're not feeling it, right? Like, it really is. Like, if you're not feeling it, you're going to be like, okay, Lynea, shut up. But what you're really going to feel is when you look back and you say, hey, I wanted to achieve something and I freaking did it. The first time I ran a marathon, you guys, I wanted to run a marathon for the longest time. The first time I ran a marathon, you better believe the end of that finish line, I was crying. I was like, oh my God, I did it. I just ran 26.2 miles, 26.2 miles, right? Something many people never accomplished in their lifetime. I ran 5 of them. And so that motivation did not come from people on the sidelines being like, woo, go, that didn't come from someone pushing me. Yes, I was coached along the way. I was coached along on the steps I need to take to be able to accomplish the plan. But the motivation came from inside. The motivation was something, Joyce, like, I cried so hard. I was bawling, you guys. I think if I can go find the picture, I'll have to find the picture and post it for you. But it's literally, I'm like, it's literally like winning the Super Bowl. There's nothing more accomplishing, no more accomplishing feeling than that. So today I really want to talk about your vision. I want to ask you, when is the last time you really allowed yourself to dream? I'm not talking about plan, not talking about putting a goal together, not talking about putting tactics in place to accomplish a goal. But when's the last time you actually allowed yourself to dream? To ridiculously dream, to put pen to paper, or I'll show you my vision board here in a minute, or put images to paper, to just allow yourself to feel ridiculously stupid and dream about something that you might feel like you can never accomplish. When's the last time you did that? Anybody do it recently?
Always, because I'm a Pisces, so I'm always doing it.
I'm a Cancer. It's a water sign thing. I'm a Cancer, right?
Nonstop.
Water sign. Okay. But I'm going to tell you that, like, if you have not done it, we're going to do a little bit of it today. So you need a pen and you need a piece of paper. Because what I'm going to ask you is when's the last time you looked at all aspects of your life and you had a dream that just seems completely ridiculous? I mean, it's got to feel really ridiculous. Like one of my visions is that I am the world's most renowned real estate systems coach, earning $500,000 per keynote speaking gig. That's my vision. And that feels really ridiculous. I'm like, oh my God, should I really put that on paper? Like, what are people going to think of me? Like $500,000 per keynote speaking gig? Is that really ever going to happen? The world's most renowned, sought after real estate systems coach? Is that really ever going to happen? It will. But unless I put it on paper, right, it's not going to drive me. It's going to be a fleeting thought that goes in my head one day and out the next, because I didn't actually put it down and didn't allow myself to absorb it. I listened to Ed Mylett's podcast this morning. I'm going to share it with you right now. If you like video podcasts, here it is. It's actually super, super, super timely. Super timely. Because I actually I was doing this conversation with my team earlier this week. And then I was like, hey, let's do this for Agent Power Huddle, because I got really excited about it. And then I listened to Ed Mylett's podcast from yesterday. I was like, oh my God. Where he talks about redesigning your life. You are the architect of your own life. When you're sitting there and you're people talk a lot about like why, like what's the why behind it, right? Well, in my opinion, a why is a very, very, very selfish thing. It's a very selfish thing. I love to serve. I love to give to people. I love to teach. It makes me so happy. Why? Because it makes me feel good. Right? I know it helps other people in the meantime, but that's not the driving force. If your purpose and your vision is an external force, you're going to lose it along the way. So I want to share with you what my vision is. If you watched my live video in the group the other day, I shared it there, but I'm going to share it with you here. And then I'm going to ask you, because Lonnie asked me, well, how did you start? Like, how did you get there? And I'm like, it doesn't just happen overnight. Because I didn't just wake up and be like, okay, this is my vision. Like, it has been iteration upon iteration, because like Carrie said, like I told you, I do this all the time. I'm constantly refining my vision. My vision has always been on the same path of growth, but I'm constantly refining it, because as I grow, I am an evolving mechanism. I never want to stay the same. My vision's never going to stay the same. And I think in the podcast I just shared with you, Ed Mylett talks about how like your body replenishes, your cells replenish every 28 days. I know a lot about skincare. Okay. Your cells replenish every 28 days. Women, your body recycles itself every 28 days. Okay. Your body is on a cycle. Physically, your body replenishes itself every day. But we don't make it a habit to replenish our mind and our soul every 28 days or on a regular cycle. We sit there and we think, okay, this was my goal at one point. And so that's what it's got to be, that goal, right? My goal at one point was to be a top producer. Okay, I made it. Cool. Now I have another goal. Right? Like my goal, they're always changing, but my vision is never changing. My vision is constantly evolving, but it's always the same direction. So I shouldn't say it's never changing. It's constantly evolving. It's always in the same direction. Just like your body is always replenishing itself. So they tell you to, eat clean foods, like do this, do that, right? But you never want to have the same vision. So I'm going to share with you my vision, and then I'm going to share with you kind of a few exercises that I've done. And then I want to give you the opportunity to take some time to write down some things for yourself that I think could help in this process. Okay, there's a lot of cameras off. If you can't turn your cameras on, I'm going to ask you to, so you should just turn it on before I ask, because it does make it a lot easier when I'm talking and I'm sharing something like this. It makes it a lot easier when I can make eye contact with people. Okay, so let's go through, and I want to share with you my vision. This is a long term. So I break my vision up into a long term. This is really largely due in part to the 12-week year. So if you haven't read the 12-week year, please do. It's a fantastic book. Okay, it's going to change your life. It's going to change the way that you think. It's going to change the way that you act. And then you can come to my class. It's free on the 5th of December, and I will teach you how to implement the 12-week year. So anyway, here we go. This is based on the 12-week year. And this is my vision. Okay, so long term, and I'm not going to define long term as to be any sort of time frame. And that's a great thing about a vision and a dream, Okay. Your goals, yes, your goals, you definitely want to have a time frame for a goal, but you don't really have to have a time frame for your dreams, right? You don't have to. So my vision, to be one of the world's most sought after small business systems coaches earning $500,000 per keynote speaking gig. I just told you that. My reputation is a kind, compassionate leader with a solid track record of developing other leaders. I'm actively involved in my community, giving hundreds of hours and millions of dollars annually. I live in an industrial style house with wood beams, slate floors, and a view of the Sound. I travel to foreign destinations 4 times a year, and I am home just as often as I travel, because that's really important to me. I love my home. Here, I love my home. So, but I also love to travel. We have 4 fully booked vacation rentals. We invest in small businesses. We help improve their systems and processes, and we earn money passively. I use money to leave a lasting impact on the lives of others, and I host retreats that teach women how to be better, more consistent leaders. So now that you see that that's my vision, would you also agree that a lot of things that I'm doing are on the path to accomplishing that vision? But the things that I'm doing right now, I would not be doing those if I didn't have a vision. And I will tell you, right now, it's toward the end of the year. We're running along, what did we say, 7 weeks or seven Fridays left in November, in 2023. And it's really easy this time of year to lose motivation and start thinking about, what didn't happen this year, right? It's really easy to, this time of year, start, and with the market and with all these things happening in our industry, it's really easy to stop wanting to move forward. It is. And if you are feeling that way, it's okay, because you are definitely not alone. I'm going to guarantee you, even though people on this call are not going to probably say it out loud, there is probably more than 5 of you on this call feeling that way right now, maybe more than 10. And it is totally okay. But here's the solution. Okay, it's not okay to live in it forever. The solution is to have a vision. Because when I read this vision to my team the other day, you better believe I was like, oh yeah, okay. I was excited. And they even got a really good idea to understand, like, okay, why is she so crazy, right? Because let's get it, okay? I got a lot of energy. I'm crazy. I talk fast. I get excited about things, and I want everyone to buy on because I'm so excited. I know that's not really how it works, right? But what I can do is tell you that in the time that I feel like I'm burnt out, okay, I do feel burnout occasionally. Yes, it's true. We all do. I'm a high performer. Okay, I am a high performer. High performers feel burnout. If you are a high performer, raise your hand. If you are a high performer who has never felt burnt out, raise your hand. Okay. So here we go. This is the solution to getting through burnout. Okay? The solution is to have a really good vision and to let it be yours. This is how my vision started. I'm going to unblur my screen, so don't judge my office. We do. Okay. I'm going to unblur my screen here. So my vision started with a vision board, good old classic vision board. Okay. I'm not really much of a vision board person today. Not really my thing. I'm more of a words person. I love words. Okay. So that's how I am now. But it started out with pictures. Many of you have heard the story of how I really got into fitness. Just to give you a kind of an idea, was I've always been really into health and fitness. But when I was about 28, 29, 30, I really wanted to change the physique, because I was what I called, in the fitness world, they call it skinny fat. I was a cardio queen. I loved cardio. I loved running. I loved cardio. Okay, but what happens when you do so much cardio is your body doesn't have a lot of muscle definition. And so I wanted to have a physique. I had a very specific physique in mind. I was very clear about it. And how I got the vision in my head was following fitness pages on Instagram. So today I follow probably 1,000 fitness pages on Instagram. And they don't really flood my feed anymore because it's not really my thing anymore, or it's not really what I talk about anymore. So the algorithm has stopped showing it to me. But that's what I did. I started just putting images in my head. Okay. Then that image became what I did. So I started working toward a picture in my head. When I was 28 years old, I left the mortgage industry and went and worked in corporate America. I got a job on a sales floor in a beauty department. I had never picked up a makeup brush in my life. Okay. But what I did have is I had business management experience. So they put me as a manager, of a beauty counter, the largest beauty counter in the largest, most important store in this entire chain. And I was like, okay, well, got to figure out what I'm going to do. Never saw myself as a full-time makeup artist. But one day I saw my manager and her two assistants walking down the hard aisle, and she just looked glamorous. Like, think about it. Like, she was glamorous. And I was like, yeah, that's going to be me one day. 3 years later, it was me. So having that vision, it starts with a picture. It starts with a picture. So this is what my picture looked like. My dog's going to come in here and interrupt me because that's what she always does, as you know. So this is what my picture started out like, okay? On here, I don't know if you can see it very well. I've got like my house, which has never gone away. That's still my house. I have words like wealth, getaway. I have a bunch of places I want to travel. I've got things like strength in numbers. I've got things like real estate, my choice, my power, own a $350 billion market. And this one is the most powerful image on my vision board right here. Who is that? You all know who that is, right? If you don't know who that is, sorry.
Oprah.
It is Oprah. Okay. Why is Oprah on my vision board? What do you guys know about Oprah?
She's an entrepreneur. She's successful. She's a billionaire.
Powerful personality.
Mostly. She undergone so many things.
She started.
And I also know that she has been rejected at the beginning, but she never stopped.
Yes. She was rejected time after time after time after time. She grew up in extreme poverty that many people will probably never experience. And I hope many people never have to experience. Oprah grew through that. She became this person who is now what I would call a massive influencer. She is a servant. She is a giver. She said one day, I want to take out Phil Donahue. Who knows who Phil Donahue is? Right? he was the biggest talk show host of the time. And Oprah, a woman, person of color, said, I'm going to take him out. And guess what? She did. And Oprah, just so you guys know, just donated $10 million to Maui. She's very silent about her giving. She's very humble. So having someone like this, there's not a lot of words to put behind it, right? It's just a picture, right? It's a picture of what she represents and who she stands for. So I'm going to tell you, when you have a vision, feel free to start that big. Start like that. Start and be like, I didn't really know when I was looking through magazines, I didn't really know what I meant. I just knew that I liked Oprah. I've read her books. I've watched her movies. I listened to her podcast. I watch her show. I like her. But now the more I learn about her, the more I'm like, okay, this is why I like her. Like there's more and more and more. And so she inspires me to want to get to a level. She's at Oprah's level. I'm going to be at Lynea's level, and they're going to be different levels, right? Because I'm me, she's her. But when you're thinking about your vision and you're starting, I want you to think that big. I don't know when I'm going to get to that level. I don't know. Who knows? But I want you to think that big. I want you to think Oprah big. You know, I own a $350 billion market. Okay, cool. How am I going to do that? I don't know, but it's there. It's going to happen. $350 billion. Can you even imagine that much money? I still can't even imagine that much money, but it's on my vision board.
Yeah.
So what I want you to do is we're going to take some silent time and put myself on mute. We're going to take some silent time. I don't know if you care if you have to pick up your phone and search through Instagram. I don't care if you have to pull out magazines. I don't care if you want to put pen to paper. I want you to dream. Sima said Tony Robbins. Yeah, Tony Robbins is another one. I don't know his story as well as I know Oprah's, but he's also got a great story. But I want you to dream. It can be dreaming of a place you want to go. It can be dreaming of a person you want to be like. It can be dreaming of a car you want, right? I just want you to dream. So if you need to put on music for yourself, go ahead. But I'm not going to put music on here because some people like silence and some people like music. But mute yourself. We'll take a couple of minutes. We'll take like 3 or 4 minutes. And I just want you to dream any way you have to do it. Any questions? Cool. All right. We're going to start the timer now. Okay. Who had some really I mean, who had some different visions come to mind, or different dreams come to mind, dreams that you haven't really had before? Do you want to share? Does anybody want to share? Yvonne?
I'll share. Wow, one of the dreams that I got just right now, one of the visions is that I'm living by the beach, Dana Point, but my house is actually built from the ground up. My brothers built it for me, and it's just immaculate, gorgeous inside. And that's a dream that I always knew I wanted to be by the beach, but I never thought like it was possible for me to build my house from the ground up. And I just saw that right now.
I love that. Woo! It's exciting.
Thank you.
Anybody else want to share?
Yeah, it's Mahmood here.
Hi, Mahmood.
So I see I've built this infrastructure that can go to sub-Saharan Africa, where we develop sustainable water facilities and micro medical spaces like they have here, your urgent cares here.
I love that. That put a big smile on my face. That's awesome, Mahmood. And that probably comes from a very personal, so the thing is, like you guys with dreams, it comes from a personal, if you go deep, I'm a really good person. I'm very good at being curious. I will always ask why. I'm not going to ask you, right? I won't, if you want to share, you can, but I will always ask why. So when I want to know why, why does my vision say I want to be on stage earning $500,000 per keynote speaking gig? Why do I want to help? Why do I want to be known as a small business systems coach? Why? Because systems have improved my life. Systems have improved my business. But I didn't never earn $500,000. I grew up keeping up with the Joneses all the time. Bankruptcy, eviction, not foreclosure, bankruptcy, eviction, car repossession, payday loans, collection calling me every 5 seconds. Okay, that's how I grew up. That was in the early 20s. That was a part of my life. And that's a part of my life I'll never live again, because that felt very, very, very helpless, very lost, very much like I didn't know what to do. Don't ever want to feel that way again. So why is that on my vision? That's where that comes from. So very personal. Anybody else want to share something that might be new for you? Wendy, you came off mute. Do you want to share?
Well, it's not really new because I think about it all the time. I'm going to have this amazing toter home, right? So we could tow our buggies and our motorcycles, and me and my husband can travel the world and do what we want to do wherever. So I definitely see that. I do love helping homeless teenagers just because I have kids, and I think that could be those could be my kids, but they're not. Thank goodness they are not homeless, but there are a lot of them out there. So I always help them. We raise money for them, but I would love to do so much more. So I definitely would like to be at a better place where I can help more. And then definitely 2 condos on the beach, but 2 different beaches. And obviously they're making money, but they're a place I can go to stay. So that is definitely on the list. But yeah, and then just helping as many agents as I can be successful, so it's feeling pretty good so far, and love that part of it.
Yep. Love it. Suma said, I want to start a charity for senior citizens. Good. I like that. Is there anything specific you want to do?
I'm from India, and I see many kids, right? After they marry or after they get the job, they abandon the parents. Parents are not educated. They struggle for food, minimum necessities. And here also I'm seeing so many senior citizens on the road without food, all those things. So I just want to do that. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. See? So when you think of when you talk about designing your life, this is how it starts. You start by thinking big, and you don't put a time frame on it. It doesn't have to be like a SMART goal, right? It doesn't have to feel achievable. It's a dream. But without that dream, you're going to have a really, really hard time putting that into a plan. You can't have a plan without a vision of where you're going or a dream of where you're going. So I encourage you, if this was helpful and you like it, keep going. Dream further. Yvonne, dream further about that. What else can you add to that dream? What can you add to that beach house? Right? What can you add to that? For me, I keep adding, like, okay, well, my house was an industrial house, but now it's on the sound. Now it's on the sound, because as a water sign, we just talked about horoscope a minute ago, as a water sign, I am at home on the water more than any other place. On the water. I love water. I could sit on an island staring at the water all day long. And believe me, I know you guys might not believe it because I am a high energy person, but on the water, that goes away. On the water, it's just peace. It's calm. So I could do that all day, every day. Okay, so I hope this helped. I'm going to share, like I said, on the 5th of December, I am hosting a Kickstart 2024 12-week year planning workshop. I will be providing, it is free. You have to register. It is not one of those, text me for the link. It's not going to happen. You have to register. Oh, there you go. I've said that multiple times. Without registration, you can't come. You absolutely have to register. Okay. You have to register, right? Okay. People ask me, do I have to? Yes. I'm not going to text the link at the last minute. The link's going to be sent out it's all on autopilot. I don't have to do it. I don't want to have a bunch of messages on the 5th. Okay. So register if you want to come. It's for 4 hours. It's 12:30 to 4:30 Pacific time. If you're on the East Coast, that's additional, add 3 hours to that. I will be providing planning templates. You can choose between PDF or you can do a digital version on Notion. If you want the digital version and you have not looked at Notion and understood Notion, please don't ask for the Notion version because we're not going to teach you how to use Notion on the call. Okay. But if you'd like it, go ahead. You can do some digging into it. But that's coming up on the 5th. I've also got some guest speakers coming. A couple of people you guys will probably be really excited to hear from. Super excited to get them on the call. But we're going to go, and this is why we're doing this, because if you come to that call, we're going to talk about vision. And then we're going to break it down and we're going to say, okay, now I'm going to help you turn that vision for your life. And we're actually going to put a time frame on some of those things. And we're going to say, okay, let's put that down into 36 months. What can you do in 3 years? Okay. And then we're going to put that into tactical things that you can put in place right now to actually accomplish. Because the dream is cool, but you actually want to make some steps to accomplishing that, right? So that's what we're going to do on the 5th. So I hope this helped. If you have any questions, you can find me in my Facebook group. Other than that, I hope you all have a great week.
If you'd like more information or to get connected to the Agent Power Huddle, join our free Facebook group. This call was designed for the agents in our EXP organization, but open to any agent from any brokerage. If you're a guest and you're interested in learning more about EXP or our specific resources within the Agent Collective, reach out to the person who invited you to this call to get more info. Produced by the Agent Collective Media Network.